Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of my Wild East DVD collection. And Wild East is a distribution company who puts out rare titles, some titles that have never been released in the US, some titles that have never even had DVD releases. And they focus mainly on spaghetti westerns, but they also have some Euro crime and they have some sword and sandal. And they do have some horror, and they do have some like sexploitation type films. And a couple days ago, I uploaded my first 20 in my collection. This is going to be video 2 of the second 20 in my collection. I'm just going to kind of go through these, show you guys the covers, and talk a little bit about them. Many of these I have not seen, but I just wanted to kind of get the collection out there. I have not seen a bigger collection out there than this one so far, so I wanted to kind of show show my fans and viewers whatever the titles that I have and what's available, and talk about the 2 titles that I do not have, with hopes that maybe somebody out there has these titles and they're willing to part with it, whether it be payment or trade or whatever. But I will talk about the 2 I'm missing at the very end of this video, and then I'll probably talk about it in the third and last video. But the first title here is a Goliath Spectacular Double Feature Program. And you can see that Goliath and the Barbarians stars Steve Reeves, who was also in a spaghetti western, which we will talk about shortly in this group here. He was more known for Goliath than anything else. So when we saw him in a spaghetti western, it actually wasn't a bad movie. The other one here, this is a twin billing, and it's Goliath and the Vampires. And it has a really cool kind of a throwback cover. I like that. This one is readily available. You can still actually get this on their website, and I believe it's under 20 bucks. And all of these DVDs are limited to 1,000. So you figure you can get a DVD for 20 bucks. That's limited to 1,000. And probably about 5 years from now or so, this will probably be 50, 60 bucks. So if you want to go buy 2, have one as your viewing copy and then put one away for a while, use that as a trade bait down the road. So the 2 titles here, Goliath and the Barbarians, the US release was from 1959, and Goliath and the Vampires, US release was 1964. Both of these are Italian horror films. Sword and sandal, horror type adventure. And I have not had a chance to watch these. But one of them was directed by Sergio Corbucci, who did a lot of these spaghetti westerns. Okay, that was the first one. And that was Spine 23, by the way. The next one here is 2 big hits with 3 big stars. The Wild East Goes to War. And this is kind of like their war line. This is the Churchill's Leopards and Salt in the Wound, Spine 24. Klaus Kinski and Richard Harrison star in Churchill's Leopards. That's a good film. And Klaus Kinski and George Hilton star in Salt in the Wound, and I have never seen that one before. Couple of Notsploitation, combat macaroni, I guess some people call it. So it is presented in widescreen, anamorphic widescreen, and it has picture galleries and trailers, so not very much special features. The next one here is, I don't know if you guys remember what I talked about in the first video. I said these were all limited to 1,000 except for 2 titles were limited to 2,000. And those 2 titles are, the first title was a trailer compilation called A Fistful of Trailers. That was limited to 2,000. And this one here was limited to 2,000. This is the Forgotten Pistolero and the Unholy Four. When this came out, the first 1,000 sold out like within a couple days, and they repressed it, and another 1,000. So you can still get these. I think the second 1,000 might be close to being sold out, or it is. It's close, or it either is, or it's about to be. So if you're interested in this one, you may want to check it out, because I think it's going anywhere between 25 and 35, which is a spectacular deal for this movie, because I can guarantee you these are both really good movies, that this will probably be about $100 in a year or so. So if you want to go get one for yourself or a viewing copy, pick another one up as a, for a rainy day, so you can trade it or sell it. This one will be worth about $100 at some time. And that's Spy number 25. And it's the Spaghetti Western Collection, Volume 21. This has a Blu-ray release now that was put up by Kino, and it just came out this year, early in 2017. So I would recommend going to pick this one up if you guys can find it. It's probably pretty easy to find on eBay or Amazon, or I think if you go to the Wild East website, they probably still have some copies there even. Okay, the next one here is 3 Bullets for Ringo, and that's a pretty cool cover. One of the things I love about the company, there's a lot of things I love about Wild East, but the cover art is amazing. And this one is the Spaghetti Western Collection, Volume 22. And it's spine 26. I think I picked this one up overseas in, was it the Netherlands? I can't remember where Strange Vice is. There's a company called Strange Vice, and that's who I ordered this from. It was Netherlands or Denmark, or yeah, I don't really remember. But I got it for a very good price. And it just seemed kind of funny that these are, it's kind of a small market here in the US, but they have reached across the globe. You're buying these in England and Germany and Finland. I bought a couple, so it's kind of cool. Bringing these back home where they belong, I guess. But it is good that everybody around the world is getting a chance to watch these. The next one here is Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, and this is a very good movie. Chuck Connors. This one is fairly violent and has a lot of action in it. This is Spaghetti Western Collection, Volume 23. And here you can see they have kind of like a cast of bad guys. You got Decker, you got Hoagie, you got Lynch, Kid, Bogard, and Blade. He has to kill them all and come back alone. It's Wild East Spine 27. Only one man could kill them all and come back alone. Chuck Connors was one hell of an actor. He was really good in The Rifleman too. But if you guys get a chance to find this one should be pretty accessible, and it's not too expensive. You should be able to grab this one. I would highly recommend getting Kill Them All and Come Back Alone. The next one here is another double bill, and the first one is, the top one is a spaghetti western called Ringo the Lowrider. And the bottom one, I believe, is kind of a spy, kind of a Euro crime spy movie. So they don't really match. I mean, usually they'll put like 2 spy movies on one, or 2 spaghetti westerns. They kind of mixed and matched. Wild East 28. There you can see some of the original art that they had. Maybe those were lobby cards or posters. These are both Peter Marshall films, so that's probably why they just put them together on one disc. The next one here is called Payment and Blood and Red Blood, Yellow Gold. Ed Cookie Burns double feature. This one is very, very hard to find. I've only seen it one time. And I pretty much search eBay every day for these, for Wild East. And I search Amazon maybe once or twice a week. But I do literally search eBay every day, and I've only seen this one time in 2 years. And this is Spaghetti Western Volume 24. The two that I'm missing, I've only seen those listed once each. And one I lost out on a bid, and the other one was listed. I think the one that's the hardest to find is A Fistful of Trailers. That's my opinion, and that was limited to 2,000. I saw that somebody listed it for $30, and I went to click it to buy it now. I was going to snatch it up and take it, but somebody else was doing that same process while I was doing it, and they were a little bit quicker, so by the time I clicked buy it now, it was sold, like in a matter of seconds. Somebody beat me by literally seconds, and I missed out on it. So that's how you got to watch the eBay every day. And you know, you can get the whole collection. You're going to have to pay a little bit of money for some of these titles, and you have to be very patient, and you have to look often. Here is the Steve Reeves movie I was just telling you about. He was the one that was in... Steve Reeves was Goliath, the barbarian. And he also played in a spaghetti western film called A Long Ride from Hell. And this was released by... Well, this was released by Wild East, but it was also released by Code Red DVD in DVD and Blu-ray. And the Code Red DVD looks better than this, and the Code Red Blu-ray looks better than all of them. So if you're going to get this movie and you don't really care about if it's Wild East, I would get the Code Red Blu-ray. That looks really good. And it's spine number 30. And Spaghetti Western Collection 25. And there is some original poster art. This DVD came out in 2009. It's directed by Enzo Barboni, and I don't remember what year this came out. Probably 65, 67, somewhere in there. So that is A Long Ride from Hell. The next one here is Don't Turn the Other Cheek. And this is kind of a spaghetti western comedy starring Franco Nero and Eli Wallach. And Eli Wallach always kind of plays a clown type bad guy. And I don't mind spaghetti western comedies, but I don't like to watch too many of them. This is Spine 31 and Collection 26. But those are two Hall of Famers right there, Eli Wallach and Franco Nero, and even Lynn Redgrave is in there. But that's a good one to get, and I think this one is still very affordable. It is out of print, but I think you can still find it. This one here just recently went out of print, and they were selling this on Diabolic DVD for a while. I think they're all gone now. Yes, you could go back and double check. That's a good way to get a good start if you're brand new to collecting Wild East. You can go to Diabolic DVD and go through the ones that they have, and you can probably get maybe 8 or 10 of them right away for very reasonable prices, probably around 20 a piece. And you can get some of the more common or some of the newer titles, and then kind of go from there and try to seek out some of the earlier, more rare titles. That's what I would do, and that's kind of what I did. There was one time I went to Diabolic and I purchased like 20 of them that I didn't have, and then that was the start of my collection, and I just started picking other ones up one by one. So this one was a purchase from Diabolic DVD, and it's called Kill or Be Killed, Kill the Wicked, Volume 27, and Spine 32. See some of the poster art back there. I'm going to keep moving because I didn't want to make this too long. We're just under 15 minutes at this point. So the next one here is a Hunt Powers double feature. I recommend this one. Dead Men Don't Make Shadows and Django Meets Sartana, kind of a crossover. They tried to cash in on the Django character and the Sartana character, and then they had crossover. There was a couple different crossovers between the two. just to try to cash in on the names and the popularity. Volume 28, and I thought they're good movies. Spine 33. They did that often, where they had kind of Django offshoots that didn't have anything to do with the original Django. And same thing with Sartana, and same thing with Trinity. The next one here is a Eurocrime collection. Confessions of a Police Captain with Franco Nero, who was kind of he was popular in both genres of spaghetti western and Eurocrime. So when the spaghetti western era, which was the boom of the spaghetti western era, was 66 to 68 in my opinion, and anything after that it started going down a little bit, and Franco Nero kind of jumped ship from spaghetti western to Eurocrime, and then he started playing a lot of these police captain confessions and stuff like that. So, but he never really did stop doing spaghetti westerns, because he did go back and do more after that, but he did both. So, and Summertime Killer with Carl Malden in it. And this one was only recently went out of print, so you can probably still find this one for a decent price. I think right shortly after I picked it up for 20 on Diabolic, it went out of print. I think some sellers were selling it for 60, but I'm thinking you could probably find it for anywhere between like 20 and 30. And I have a feeling most of these, if not all of these, will not get Blu-ray releases. Maybe some of the better ones will. I know Germany released some of these on Blu-ray, and Kino is starting to release a few of these, but here is Tequila Joe and A Hole Between the Eyes. This is collection volume 29, Spaghetti Western Bloodbath, Spine 35, anamorphic widescreen. The next one here is Full House for the Devil and The Moment to Kill, George Hilton double bill, volume 30, Spine 36. This one here is still available. I have a feeling this will be expensive very soon. The Franco Nero, Giuliano Gemma Mafia films, I Am the Law and Mafia. And this is volume 3 in the Eurocrime collection. I would recommend that you guys go pick this up, even if you are not the biggest fan of Mafia films, which I am. I'm a huge Mafia fan guy. I'm a Mafia historian. And I think that this film is going to become very, very expensive. And it's Spine 37. And right now you could probably get this for 25 bucks or less, or in that ballpark. But this one will be sought after. A lot of people do not know about Wild East and that they're limited to 1,000. Probably many people don't know about those films either. Now here is I showed you in my first 20, there was a movie called The Man from Nowhere, and it was that same cover, only it didn't have Arizona Cult. And I told you that they re-released it under a different name in a twin pack, and this is it. So this is The Man from Nowhere, now it's called Arizona Cult. As far as I know, there's not a frame difference in the movie, they just put a different name under it and re-released it. And Arizona Cult Hired Again. So this one is going for some big bucks now. And it was only just recently in print. And so it's only been out of print for a very short time. And already in that time, this movie went from like 20 bucks to, I think I've seen it for like 67, 69, somewhere in that area. Somebody had it on eBay. So if you just do your homework and be patient and check daily, you should be able to come up with a really nice collection of your own without having to break your bank. Just just be patient and keep looking. I think the hunt is half the fun to me anyway. You don't want to buy them all in one thing and then they're sitting there, you got the whole collection. I think the fun of it is to get it piece by piece. You know, and then when you finally get one that you need, you love it, it's, you know, it's something that you're really proud of and you had fun looking for it. So here is number 32, Hands Up Dead Man, You're Under Arrest, and Revenge of the Resurrected, starring Peter Lee Lawrence, who was going to be one of the spaghetti western studs in the genre, big German kid. But he ended up tragically dying very young, and he didn't get to make very many movies. He was struck down in his prime, and he was just about to take off to become an everyday star, a household name, and he never quite got there. But the movies that Peter Lee Lawrence was in were damn good. And it's just a shame that he was struck down. I think he was struck down either pre-30 or just 30 years old. So he was like 28 to 30, something like that. He was in an auto accident. Here's another really good one. This is kind of a spaghetti western comedy. It can be done amigo with Bud Spencer and Jack Palance. And Bud Spencer always seems to be kind of the spaghetti western clown. He is a good actor. You know, he made a lot of money with Terrence Hill in the Trinity movies. And just very fun film. I enjoyed it. It can be done amigo. Jack Palance is kind of the straight guy. And Bud Spencer is kind of the clown of the film. I'll keep moving on. I have two more here to show you guys, and that'll be it for this one. In the first video I showed you guys, there was a standalone title of Kill and Pray, which is going for a lot of money. And that was, I think that was in the first 10 for volumes. It might have been like the first 10 or 12. But now volume 34, they brought it back in a twin billing. They have Kill and Pray and Dead Men Don't Count. So I'm not sure why they brought that back like that, but and being the completist that I am, even though I have Kill and Pray standalone, I wanted to get this one. And I think I got Kill and Pray standalone pretty cheap because when these came out, a lot of people just sold off their standalone. So, but I wanted them all, so I kind of won on that one. These are good films. Anamorphic widescreen, picture galleries, trailers. Exclusive interview with Mark Damon. This movie came out in 2011 by Wild East. So if you guys can find this one for a decent price, I'd say go for it. But I know this one is way, way up in price now. I think it's around like 60, 70, maybe even 80 by now. And last but not least for this video, there's still going to be a video 3, maybe in a couple days. This one is a Lee Van Cleef film called Death Rides a Horse, and this is a very good film. It has music by Ennio Morricone. This is the Spaghetti Western Collection, volume 35. And Lee Van Cleef has definitely got to be one of the best in the genre of spaghetti westerns. Spine 42. There you can see the theatrical poster and a couple stills from the film. This one was put out in 2011. So there you have it, guys. I would really be interested to hear from you, whether you want to comment down below or maybe make a video response. Tell me which Wild East titles you have. Or if this is the first time you're hearing about Wild East, let me know which ones you plan on picking up first. Or if you have any questions, I can give you some advice on which ones to try to get. And also, don't forget, I do have some doubles I'm willing to part with. I'm not going to give them away, but I would give you a fair trade for them. And the two titles that I'm looking for, if you guys are interested in helping Walnuts, I need number 1, which is the trailer compilation, and it's called A Fistful of Trailers. And then I need number 2, which is Boot Hill. So if anybody out there has a fistful of trailers or Boot Hill, please get at me and we will make a deal. I'll give you some cash, or I'll give you some trades, whatever you feel is best. But these are the second 20 in my collection. Let me know if you've seen any, which ones you recommend. And give it a like. If you haven't subbed, please feel free to subscribe. And I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos like this. And I'll see your comments down below later. Have a good weekend.